welcome to my channel. Today I decided that we're gonna do some chicken casseroles. I love casseroles because they're so easy to put together. So I hope that you guys like it. Let's go ahead and get started. Okay guys, to get us started, we're going to be making this $1 million casserole. So the first thing we're going to need to do is get a large bowl, and we need 1 cup of cottage cheese, a half a cup of sour cream, 4 ounces of cream cheese, and then I did melt that just a tad just so it's going to be easy to mix it all together, and then 1 can of cream of chicken soup, half a teaspoon of onion powder, and half a teaspoon of garlic powder. And then I'm just going to give this a good mix until it's all well combined. So definitely want to make sure that that cream cheese is very soft so that you don't spend forever trying to stir this all together. Once this is all stirred together, I'm going to add 4.5 cups of cooked chicken. I just did some rotisserie chicken and stir that all together. Now once that is all stirred together, we're just going to set this to the side. We're going to get a 9x13 pan and lightly grease that. We're going to put all of that mixture at the very bottom of our pan, and I'm just going to smooth it out to make sure it's all nice and level. And then once everything is nice and level, you guys can do 1 whole sleeve of Ritz crackers, or you can do about 2 cups of Cheez-Its, and you just kind of smash them together to make sure that they're nice and crushed. And then you're also going to put in 5 tablespoons of butter in with either your Ritz crackers or your Cheez-Its. I just did Cheez-Its because I could not find any Ritz crackers on hand, so I just ended up doing Cheez-Its. I think I definitely prefer the Ritz crackers. I just think it adds a really good flavor to it. I don't typically do Cheez-Its, but it was still really good, but I definitely think that we prefer the Ritz crackers. So go ahead and stir that all together, and then we're just going to put this right on top of our mixture that we made with the chicken. Okay, and that's it. I put this in the oven at 350 degrees for 30 minutes, and this is what it came out to look like after it was all done cooking. Very, very delicious. I love the creamy texture of the chicken and everything in it. And then we just had some corn and some black-eyed peas, which black-eyed peas is not my go-to, but my husband absolutely loves black-eyed peas, so I just whipped that up for him real fast. And this was a delicious meal that fed all of our family, and we even had leftovers. Up next is Italian chicken casserole. So we're going to need a cast iron skillet or whatever type of skillet that you use to cook up chicken. I'm going to put everything in my cast iron skillet. I have 2 pounds of chicken that I just diced up, and then we're going to need to season it up just a little bit. So I just did some salt and pepper. Typically I would probably do a little bit of paprika and maybe Italian seasoning, just since this is an Italian dish, but season it however you guys prefer. And then I'm going to need 10 ounces of bow tie noodles, and I'm just going to give that a really good stir. And then once my chicken is almost done cooking, I went ahead and diced up a half of an onion, and then also a 1/4 cup of bell pepper, and then just a little bit of garlic, maybe about a tablespoon, giving that all a very good stir. And I'm just going to cook that until my onions and peppers are nice and soft. Now I'm going to add 1 can of cream of chicken soup, 1 cup of milk, and then 1 cup of chicken broth, and then you're going to give that a good stir. And then once that is all stirred through, I'm going to add 4 ounces of cream cheese, and you're just going to stir that until it is a nice and thick mixture. And then I'm going to add 1 package of Italian seasoning, and then 2 tablespoons of Parmesan. Just the grated Parmesan will be fine. Giving that another good stir. Okay, and by then our bow tie noodles should be done, so I'm just going to add that to our skillet, giving that another really good stir. And the reason why I use my skillet is because I just wanted this to be like a one pot kind of casserole dish. I didn't want to have to put this into a separate casserole dish, so I'm actually going to be putting all of this into the oven. And then once all that is stirred together, then I put in 1 more tablespoon of Parmesan cheese. And then I ended up using this Swiss cheese. I just put all the slices just right on top. So it's going to give us a nice little cheesy texture right on top. Or if you guys wanted to do Parmesan cheese or mozzarella, that would be fine too. I let that cook in the oven at 350 for about 20 minutes. I just wanted that cheese to melt. And that's it. That's all that I did for this dish. We had some green beans and a salad with it. This was such a hit. Up next is chicken Parmesan casserole. This is probably one of my favorite things because I just love spaghetti so much. But I just have these Parmesan chicken tenders basically, and I do have to cook them. They're from Aldi's and they are not pre-cooked, they're just pre-battered, so I have to put them in the oven for about 20 minutes. While that's cooking, I need some spaghetti noodles. I like to use thin spaghetti, I just don't prefer like the thicker noodles. So I'm cooking up about 12 ounces of spaghetti noodles, and then now that my chicken is done, I'm just going to lightly grease my 9x13 pan, and I'm going to put this at the very bottom of my casserole dish. I'm just trying to layer them so all 5 of them will fit perfectly. Now my spaghetti noodles should be done, so I'm just going to put that right on top. And then I'm going to put some diced tomatoes because I love having diced tomatoes in my spaghetti. So if you don't like that, you do not have to add it at all. And then I have 1 can of Prego sauce. I just have like this like onion garlic one. And so I'm just going to layer that right on top of our noodles. And then I wanted to give this a little bit of some seasoning, so I did some Italian seasoning. I'm just gonna mix that in with our marinara sauce the best that I possibly can. And you guys, I did not have any like Parmesan cheese or mozzarella. I was kind of really bummed about that, but I just used like this mix. It's like a Colby Jack like Mexican blend, so I ended up using that and it worked fine. And then, I mean, I had a little bit of Parmesan, but not very much. Maybe like a third of a cup, not very much at all. So it's kind of hard to call this a Parmesan bake when I didn't use very much Parmesan at all. I put this in the oven at 350 for about 20 minutes. Just want to make sure that that cheese was nice and melted. And that's it. That's all that I did for this casserole. This is one of the simpler casseroles that we had, which is definitely my go-to. I love hitting that easy button as much as I possibly can. And so you guys can serve this with some garlic bread. We like to have either peas or corn with spaghetti. My family's kind of divided. Only half of us like peas, but I love peas with spaghetti. I just think it's my favorite type of vegetable with spaghetti. Let me know in the comments if you guys are peas fan, because my boys are completely against it. I cannot get them to eat it whatsoever. But to each their own, of course. And then this would pair really well with a salad, of course. I think this night we just had it with some peas and some bread, actually, and called it a night. This was delicious. Okay, this was my husband's favorite out of all the things that I made this week, chicken Dorito casserole. And so to a medium to large bowl, you need 2 cans of cream of chicken soup that you're just going to put at the bottom of your mixing bowl. Then we need 1 cup of black beans, and my black beans look a little bit different just because I like to freeze them and put them in baggies. And yeah, I just took it out of the freezer pretty recently, so it looks a little bit weird, but it'll cook just fine. Also 1 can of Rotel, and then 2 cups of shredded cheese, 2 cups of shredded chicken, and then 3 cups of crushed up Doritos. And then very carefully, I tried to stir this all together, which did take some time because it was starting to overflow just a bit. And then I decided last minute that I was going to add a cup of corn just because I feel like it just goes with black beans and Rotel and chicken. So I had to add the corn as well just to kind of make this dinner finalized. And then to a 9x13 pan, I sprayed it, and I'm just going to put this at the very bottom of my pan. The recipe does call for putting the 1 cup of crushed Doritos at the very bottom, but I actually saved this to the very end, and I'm just going to put it right on top. So I'm just smashing this down, making sure it's nice and even. And then I'm going to take 1 more cup of Doritos and just place that right on top. And then of course I got to add more cheese, so I'm adding just a little bit more cheese. So you can add a cup to 2 cups, whatever you guys prefer. When it comes to the cheese, I think I just added about a cup, and it's ready to go in the oven at 350 for about 40 minutes until everything is nice and cooked through and that cheese is nice and melty on top. This is what it'll look like after it's all done cooking. It was absolutely fabulous. This was so good. I love casseroles because you can just, it goes so long, and I like to have casseroles with a salad. I just love having a side salad for dinners. I think it just is so good, and I just really prefer salads. And so that's what we did. I also had just a little bit of corn because why not? You can never have too much corn in a meal, right? Corn is absolutely delicious. We love it. So yes, this was our meal, and we devoured this. So good. Okay, this last one was chicken Alfredo casserole, and you guys, you cannot go wrong with chicken Alfredo. So to a medium saucepan, I'm going to put 3 tablespoons of butter just at the bottom and just let that melt. And then 1 tablespoon of garlic, and just let that cook for just a minute. Okay, and then 3 tablespoons of flour, and you're just going to give that a good mix, getting that flour well combined with that butter and garlic. Okay, and then we're going to add 2 cups of milk, and then 1 cup of heavy whipping cream. And then I'm just going to give that another good stir. And just so you know, this did come out a little bit on the dry side, so if you want to add a little bit more liquids or maybe not as much pasta, that would be very ideal. Also going to add 3/4 cup of Parmesan cheese, and then 1 cup of mozzarella, giving that a good stir. You just want to stir it until it's nice and thick. And then I have 2 cups of rotisserie chicken, and then also we're going to put our penne noodles right back into this mixture. I went ahead and cooked up 10 ounces of penne noodles, so now I'm just adding it to our pot and getting that stirred through properly. To a 9x13 pan, I'm going to put that at the very bottom. I'm just going to layer it so it's nice and even. And And then I'm going to season this. I didn't put any seasoning while I was making the cream, so definitely put in some salt and pepper, maybe a little paprika, some parsley, whatever your little heart's desire is. Parsley is kind of a go-to in Italian seasoning for an Italian dish like this. So I'm going to get that all seasoned up, and then I ended up putting some mozzarella and some Parmesan cheese on top, but you guys don't have to. You can put whatever type of cheese that you guys prefer. So I went ahead and just topped this with about 1.5 cups of mozzarella cheese, put this in the oven at 350 for about 30 minutes, and boom, dinner is ready and ready to go and to devour. This is awesome with a side salad. All these like casserole dishes are just perfect with a side salad. I paired ours with a side salad and some like bread, some Italian bread, also some green beans. This was a phenomenal meal. It just was a little bit on the dry side. So if I were to do this again, I would not add as many penne noodles, or probably do a little bit more milk and cream to it. That way it doesn't turn out super dry. So it was very good. Like the flavor of it was really good. It just needed more cream sauce for sure. And so this was delicious. You guys are going to love this meal. I have tons of other videos just like this on my channel, so make sure you subscribe, hit that notification bell so you don't miss my next one, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye guys!